Welcome, everybody, to your least favorite podcast. My name is Mark, and I'm here with most of my friends.
Steven. Jake.
Yes, unfortunately, today we are missing Nick. He's got some things coming up, so he wasn't able to make it today. So it's just the three of us. Just the three of us. And this is the show where we talk about
the
whatever's
three of us
on our mind and sing parody songs.
badly.
So, guys, how was y'all's week?
Oh, geez, where to begin? That's pretty much it. I don't know.
Yeah, that was the week. All right.
That was the week. Yep, it was.
You ever seen that movie Groundhog's Day? Kind of like that.
Oh yeah.
Where I feel
I
like
haven't seen it. Explain it to me.
I'm just caught in the same day over and over and over again.
Yeah,
I haven't reached the part where I've like gotten bored and decided to try to learn or better myself or do any of that. But
I was about to say you should get a hobby.
My hobby is watching the clock.
You should start boxing again. Or do jiu-jitsu.
Oh, we did start going to the gym. We've been doing
I want you to be like a boxer. I want you to go fight like Jake Paul or something.
Easy.
I told you I don't fight people. I box for the workout, and if I was to ever actually fight somebody, I would do the same thing I do in any other situation. I would set myself up to be in an advantageous position. Ergo,
would you spar?
I'd bring like a knife.
Spar?
I'd bring a knife and shank them or kick them in the balls, like any of the squishy bits.
Would you lightly spar?
I don't. So I always had this issue when I was doing it in boxing where there's like some block when it comes to actually punching somebody in the face. Like I couldn't do it. I don't know if it was just like my teacher. Like I was like, I can't hit you in the face. I can punch you in the torso all day long, but coming down to a straight up face shot, couldn't do it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a legitimate thing. There's a real block whenever it comes to not only getting punched in the face, but also punching people in the face. And it's something that you just kind of deal with over time, and it really kind of depends on your partner. Because, like, for me, I don't like it when my partners don't wear headgear. Like, most everyone does now, but, like, there's, like, one or two that, like, don't want to. And it's harder to spar them because I don't want to bust their nose or something, which I've done before, so...
Oh, so that brain is fragile. It's the consistency of butter, I hear.
Is it really?
You can really scramble that thing up.
Like butter from the refrigerator, or like butter that you left on the counter?
like room temperature butter. That's
really?
That's the same consistency of the actual brain.
It seems like anytime you would fall, then like you wouldn't be able to take a concussion if it was that soft.
Well, I mean, it's not gonna like come apart, but you could just like take your finger and just push your way through it. Like it's not very strong.
Like I wonder, like if I like duct taped my little glass butter container and like dropped it on the couch, like how much the butter would actually spread? Because like once it's at that room temperature, it like sticks to the bottom pretty well. Like it sticks to whatever it's on. So like your brain could be just really secured.
Yeah, I mean it's held in place pretty well, but you think something that fragile? I don't know. It's pretty easy to mess it up. I'm not saying your brain is actually butter, so I'm just saying that's what I've heard is that same consistency is roughly what it is.
Yeah, that's what I like to do.
It doesn't taste like butter though.
I chop up my vegetables. When I go to saute them, I just give me a knife full of brain and throw it down there.
How do you know it doesn't taste like butter?
Because do you eat it?
I
don't know. What's the issue here?
I mean,
great segue.
I thought it tastes like butter.
No, do you actually have a point, or are you making a joke?
No, I thought it tasted like butter.
What, butter? Or brain?
The brain.
No, you asked how did I know it tasted like it? I think that we would be less shocked if I didn't say that.
If you eat brain, depends on what they eat.
You don't learn
very creamy but firm.
Is that what it says? Or is
It
that
has
butter?
has a buttery undertone with a savory flavor.
Oh, that's what they said for brain. Well, I mean, people have eaten brains.
Yeah.
They eat like animal brains. So
That's what they say it tastes like.
Yeah, I draw the line in there. I don't want to eat animal brains.
it reminded me of that Indiana Jones movie where they pop open the monkey's head. They serve
Mhm.
up the monkey skull and it's got chilled monkey brains in it. I'll pass. I just think of those things where they're like, "Hey, don't," or you go to a culture or a different culture and they offer you stuff and you're trying not to be rude. There's some situations like, "No, I don't eat food. Sorry, not to be rude. I just don't ever eat at all, and that's just how I'm gonna be for this whole time I'm here."
They also say that brains are like similar in taste to eggs.
I could see that. They're basically like egg is like protein and stuff. So
Learn something new.
sorry, your segue got buried in there somewhere.
That was a joking segue. But now the
Oh,
real
okay.
segue. Speaking of foods, I've got a new tier list. Just like we talked about last week, I made it. The potato chip tier list. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
And tortilla chips is at the top. I'm ready.
Okay, so actually I had a lot of trouble with this one, figuring out how exactly I wanted to do it. So I focused on flavors of chips, with some outliers that had to be specified, and then I made a separate list of like what chips I like what brands of chips I like, or what style of chips I like better. So I'm gonna start with that one. So whenever we do the flavors, match it up to these chips, and that's like how I would, I guess, like them. So like my number one is the either Mrs. Vic's or the Cape Cod. I like the kettle cooked chips. Kettle cooked chips are the best.
Are you gonna do specific flavors of the kettle chips or not?
Yeah. I'm gonna do the flavors in a second. I'm just letting you guys know. So like for me, the top kind of chips are like kettle cooked chips, and then I got like Ruffles because I like thicker chips, I guess, and like Sun Chips, Bugles. And I put Lay's is like the least because like I'm not a big fan of like thin chips. It's not that I don't eat them or don't like them. It's just if I'm gonna choose, I'll always choose like the kettle cooked chips over like Lay's that are like the thin. And then I put kind of in a separate category Tostitos over Fritos. So those are like the two like dipping chips. With the exception of I like Fritos with my chili as opposed to Tostitos. Any comments there? Any qualms so far?
No.
All right,
Lay's
here we
are
go.
trash, man. I don't know why anybody eats those things.
What, Fritos?
No, Lay's.
Oh, Lay's. Yeah, Lay's are pretty. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, man. Sometimes Lay's are like one of those things when you like start eating them though, and then you can't fucking stop.
like yeah.
If
Like, I mean,
if
they're
I
not
go to a
bad.
party and there's like a bowl of them, I might eat one or two. But
Yeah.
I over time, my tastes have gotten more sophisticated, and Lay's just taste like they're soaked in cat pee, and they're thin, and I don't like it.
For me, it's about texture. I like crunchy things. Like I like more crunch. That's why I like the kettle cooked because it's like the most crunch per bite.
Yeah, I enjoy the Miss Vicky's.
Yeah,
I have
I would
no
say those.
complaints
I
about
would say
that one.
those are the best.
Though I do like they've got a Cape Cod kettle cooked wavy chips that are becoming my new favorite.
I would bump Lay's up slightly if it's their wavy ones. Maybe it's because they're crunchier.
It's like Ruffles, man. Just
Yeah, Ruffles.
Ruffles,
Sorry, that's
yeah.
what I was thinking of. Isn't
Yeah.
that made by the same company?
It might be, but I separated them.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we
Continue.
go. Flavors. Starting at the bottom, we have the F tier for flavors, and so Cheetos Puffs I put on here because I'm not a fan of Cheetos Puffs. Those are F tier for sure.
Disagree.
And then joining Cheetos Puffs is barbecue flavored chips.
I agree with that.
F tier.
When I was a kid, barbecue chips were the shit, and now I feel like they just taste weird.
Because
I
you've
never
had
put in, like,
like good
city.
barbecue, and you're like, this is
Not what barbecue
it's
tastes
like
like.
synthetic. I'm looking for real barbecue.
Yeah. So honestly, I thought that one was gonna get a little bit more debate. Maybe if Nick was here.
I would say I don't
disagree
like-
with the Cheetos puffs, so I think those are pretty good. I do like
See,
I
them.
put that. I don't like Cheetos.
Not
at
not
all.
a big puff. Like I just said earlier, it's about the crunch, and like the puffs to me don't have.
They're
I
so
guess, that
crunchy
much
though.
crunch.
I just don't like Cheetos. It's too much.
All right, D
cheese
tier.
flavor.
D tier. We've got classic or original. Then I put the honey barbecue Fritos twists on there. Because those
I don't
aren't
know
a
what those are.
dipping Fritos. Those are, to me, those are like an eating Fritos. And then, I mean,
The twist ones, is that what you're talking about?
yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty good. But yeah, I definitely would say those are like snacks.
Yeah. All right, we're in agreement so far. This is weird. All right, going on to C tier. So C tier, I basically reserved for all the like extra weird flavors that like I like, but I wouldn't necessarily get them all the time. Like dill pickle, I put in there. The spicy sweet chili Doritos, I put in there, and then something like the salt and cracked pepper chips. Those are all like C tier. Like anything like that's like a unique one, I put in that middle one for the most part.
So I'm getting this now. So your list is separated out by type of chip and flavor of chip.
Mostly flavor, but like you know, like the honey barbecue Fritos twist, like nobody else has that flavor, but that's like a very common like chip that people get.
Interesting.
And same like the Doritos, like they don't have like Doritos has like their own flavors for the most part. Or recognizable about their own flavors. Which leads me to B tier. B tier we have sour cream and onion and then Doritos Cool Ranch. Sour
I
I
cream
don't
That's a
and
know.
good-
onion.
I'm kind of iffy on the Cool Ranch because it's really easy for that flavor to be overpowering.
What are you talking about? Like the reason it's not S tier is because not every single chip is completely coated in the seasoning.
Now, I hate when there's too much seasoning on those because then it just
that's the best. You get like 3 of those a bag where it's like all the seasoning on one chip.
yeah.
And that chip is
I would
S
throw
tier.
those. I would flick them in the trash.
That
I will
single chip is
I will
S
say that those are much better in like the Ruffles form than they are in like the Lay's form. Like you know what I'm saying? Like the
sour cream and
crispiness,
onion?
yeah, like those are much
Yeah.
better in like a really thick chip than they are in like a than
Send
like
it
a
out to all the
thin chip.
companies. Nobody likes your thin ass potato chips. Get out of here with that shit.
All right, A tier. I put Doritos Nachos, the nacho cheese Doritos, or the spicy nacho cheese there, and then crunchy Cheetos. I can slam.
I
some
do like
crunchy
those-
It's just like normal Cheetos.
yeah, just not the puffs. I like the crunchy ones.
I knew it was weird that Cheetos are just what is it, cornmeal or something like that. I watched a video of somebody making a Cheeto, and it's just something along those lines. I think it's cornmeal.
It's not even a potato.
And, like, there's nothing to them. They just like mix some of that up and put something in to stabilize it, and then dust them.
Yeah, I mean that's the deal. Listen, but like the Cheetos with the jalapenos, like the jalapeno
Yeah.
flavoring, yeah, those are where it's at.
Those are
I'll eat
good.
some of those.
Not
I don't like
flaming hot
Cheetos.
Cheetos, but the ones with the like jalapeno
Like I
flavor.
said,
I would
like-
say I have an issue with Cheetos because they like anything that makes your hands too dirty. Like
all of them, dude. I fucking hate it.
like my wife's sister was over. It was funny. She loves those, and she was eating them and like handed me her phone, and I handed it back. She just like grabbed it, and I could see the orange on her fingers, and I was like,
Mm.
I hate that. I hate
You
the
barbarian, clean your hands.
She
Not
said she
gonna
didn't
lie,
touch him with
whenever-
that part, but
Whenever I eat like the small bags of Cheetos, like I open them up and just like pour them into my mouth. Like I don't even
Yep.
use my fingers.
Yep.
I've seen my wife actually use like chopsticks or like something to grab them out and eat them.
I would love just like little like disposable like finger condoms. You just like slide on your finger and like and your thumb.
My Cheeto gloves.
It's just like
That'd be perfect.
a little glove that goes over just your index finger. And
Like I have to be
And thumb,
committed to
yeah.
eat the bag because I can't take a break because then I have to clean my hand off every time.
Yeah,
So I have to just sit there and
exactly,
eat the whole, as much as I want to eat and then go clean my hands off.
Yes.
It's just too much work.
It's like really annoying because like I want to eat chips or something like while watching football or something like on my computer or watching anything on my computer. Then like I have to click on something. I'm like, what shit, you know? And then you gotta like go wash your hands, come back, click on the one button to skip the ads, and then keep eating chips.
Yeah, they need to come up with something to fix that.
All right, here we go. S tier. S tier. We've got cheddar and sour cream and salt and vinegar.
I do like the salt and vinegar chips.
yeah, salt and vinegar is definitely the best one. Kettle salt and vinegar chips.
Kettle
And
salt and vinegar chips.
plain tortilla chips, right?
No, I didn't put any of those on there.
I mean, I can't tell you how many of those I've eaten, but I can't tell you the last time I've eaten any regular chips. So, for me personally,
Now,
tortilla chips would be S tier because that's the most I've eaten.
I will throw a flavor of kettle chips in there that you probably don't have very much is the Parmesan garlic. They have one of those for it's called Boulder Canyon makes them.
I don't think I've never seen
They
those.
are delicious.
You know, we've actually eaten a lot of. I don't know if it counts, but the little pretzels, the dots.
Oh,
Those
yeah,
are
that's
super
something
good
weird snack
too. They
don't
make
know if that
Cheetos
counts.
too. Do you know that?
I don't
Dots
like Cheetos.
makes Cheetos with like the seasoning from the pretzels. So good.
Would that
The
rank on
cinnamon
the?
dots ones or
No. Just like the normal one.
I feel like that opens it up to too many like other snacking foods though. But pretzels,
Yeah.
there you go. Okay, but for chips, tortilla chips, because I eat them a lot.
All right, that was the tier list, and
Wait, is a Dorito is technically a tortilla chip, isn't it? Isn't it the same
Yeah, but
consistency?
it is, but it's not like a dip chip. Like, I mean, you can dip, but like most times you just eat Doritos. But like most time you get like Tostitos, it's for dipping specifically.
I would
Also,
agree with that.
there was one that needed to be on the list that was completely omitted because I don't think it even is technically a chip, but that is the Pringles. They're just kind of like smashed paste reformed back into a chip. And I don't really like those either. The tubes, Pringles.
Yeah,
Those
I
are
mean, I
chips.
like Pringles.
But it
I
wasn't
just
on the
like
list, was it? Did
Pringles
I miss it?
are no, he didn't say Pringles. Pringles are kind of weird, I guess. I mean, but the thing is, what he said is there's not like specific brands for the most part that he chose. So like,
Yeah,
but Pringles are kind of their own type of chip. Like they're kind of like a thicker potato chip than normal.
so like if
I'm
I
pretty
eat Pringles, I'm definitely like a stacks. You remember the commercials where they like stack a whole bunch of Pringles and then eat it? Like
Yeah.
I do that. I do that with Lay's too.
But like
Oh,
my
that's right.
favorite Pringles was always like the cheddar and sour cream ones. We're kind of like back
Yeah.
to that same boat where, just take that and apply it to whatever you want.
Whatever chip. Basically, if it was cheesy, it's at the top of the list.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Nowadays, chips are just a conveyance mechanism for some sort of dip. I don't usually just eat a bag of chips.
I don't either for the most part. But
I get down on those
occasion.
Dots Cheetos, Jim. Get down on those things.
Yeah, see, if we're including Cheetos, I feel like we can include pretzels.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Dots is like that. The Dots brand are S tier.
I mean, I would put like regular pretzels would be in the classic original flavor area, like just like regular pretzels.
Well, but see, there is some of the. You ever had like the chunks, the Schneider's like chunks of pretzels? They're like a big size pretzel, but like,
oh yeah,
Those are
Those
hard
are-
to eat. They're
they're hard to eat, but they're so good.
yeah, those are very good too. But again, it's more about the flavor. Like they have a jalapeno one of those that's really really good.
But they have a cheddar one of those. It's really
Yeah,
good.
you know,
give me
that
the
just goes back
dust.
to the flavors. That's
I just
Yeah,
want
can
the
I just get a
dust.
bag of this dust and I'll just
Put the dust on whatever you want. You got your popcorn,
I'll just put my
You got
tongue in
your,
it.
crackers.
I mean, if we're talking about anything, popcorn is my S tier snack in general. Like nothing will ever be
See, it
like
used to
popcorn
be
machine popcorn, not like microwave
Yeah.
popcorn, like popcorn machine popcorn is
like
the
it
fucking-
seems like all the popcorn you buy now that you make it home, you get too many
Kernels,
the,
they don't
the
pop.
kernels. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, like even the ones that did pop, they didn't like pop fully, so there's still like a bunch of the kernel in there.
I like to chew on those.
So it always just
Yeah.
gets stuck in my fucking teeth.
No, Holly my wife bought me a popcorn machine. So I don't do like the microwave popcorn anymore. I like put the oil in and put the kernels in and like pops and
You got like
I guess I
afterwards.
haven't. I used to make it like in a pan all the time. You just oil and popcorn in a pan. It was always better, but I just haven't done it. in a
all
long
over the
time.
house.
So good.
It was just sitting there on a pan. Those things go, and I gotta go find them each time they pop. I wish last time we made popcorn in the house, it was those old style ones. Which
Oh,
still
yeah.
make that where you actually do have to put them on the stove, and then it
Oh
expands.
yeah,
the
and
aluminum
inflates or
bag.
whatever.
I feel
Yeah.
like that tasted
That's
better,
kettle
but you gotta
corn,
be.
isn't it?
No, it's popcorn, but you gotta be careful with it because you can burn it real easy, and you actually have to sit there and heat it up and keep it moving because it'll burn in like a couple seconds.
The only time I've ever done that was at my friend Alex Filippona's house. Shout out to Alex Filippona if you're listening. Probably not. Probably
He's not.
We know
He's
you're
not.
not. We see the metrics.
8th grade, I was spending the night at his house, and that's how we did popcorn. Like I've always done microwave popcorn. Like that's my entire.
It's still a
life.
satisfying way to cook it. Go to the store, buy you one, see what you think. But like, you gotta be careful, like you said.
No, I like my popcorn machine.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not all of us have a popcorn machine in our circus. You already got the clown.
Should get one then.
You got a clown and a popcorn machine.
That's gonna be my next business purchase. My next tax write-off. Buy me a big old popcorn machine. Oh yeah, this is for events at the
Like
school.
a movie theater one,
Yeah.
like a big fucking massive.
This is for events at the school, parent night
Listen,
outs and stuff.
they don't have to be that big. When I used to do the popcorn at the church bazaar we used to work at, it was like, I don't know, maybe like double the size of your old computer. Like if you stuck two of them next to each other, that's about how big that one was. And fuck, we made so much popcorn in that thing.
Yeah.
Like, and that was always really good, but that was super easy. Just like, you know, a little bit of popcorn in there and it spins and does whatever. I think that's the big difference with one of those is just being able to like dump it like that. And all the, you know, shit goes to the bottom and you don't get it.
You seen those videos? I come across them on Reddit under the stupid foods category, but they'll like melt down some food and then turn it into like a syrup and then they pour it over popcorn.
I had to desubscribe or unsubscribe from that one.
Dude, it's so great.
It's not. It's
I
not.
love that. I'm pretty
I
sure
hate
half
it.
that's satire. I hope it is.
I hate it.
I
can't
learned all
stand
about Salt Bay. I didn't know that motherfucker existed.
You didn't know who Salt Bay was?
No, I mean I've seen the meme, but I didn't know what he was. And people actually pay that clown to do things. Crazy.
Yeah.
Pay him a lot too.
Yeah.
Which I guess power to him if they're paying him. Who's ever stupid in any situation where you see someone doing crap like that and they're getting paid for it? The person doing it or the person giving them money to do it? So I can't fault him that much.
Talking about that, I don't know if you remember talking about this, Steven, back when we were at Triple C, but Holly brought up that haunted house in Kentucky. That's like if you could survive 8 hours without wanting to leave the house, they like you win like 20 grand or something. But
That's
it's like
the dog food guy.
I don't know, but it's like
I only know one place with a ruling like that. It's McCaney Manor, and he like tortures people.
Yeah,
and if you can get through it, then but he only charges a bag of dog food to enter, and you have to sign all their waivers, and then they'll like waterboard you and pour bugs
you have to do
in your
to do
mouth.
like a physical too before you go.
I ain't about that.
And no, my wife brought that up and specifically asked if you would be able to do it.
No, I wouldn't, because he makes it so, from what I've heard, he makes sure you don't get through. Like he'll escalate until they will eventually just pull you out and say that they thought something
medically
was wrong.
Yeah,
Like they'll be like, nope, something's wrong with him, get him out. So you won't make it through. And I don't consider that like scary. Like yes, it's unpleasant, but being tortured is unpleasant. And if I was gonna try and scare somebody, that's a mind thing. It's not, oh, I'm gonna pour bugs on you and suffocate you. Like, that ain't scary. That's just unpleasant.
I feel like you'd have to do like some background investigation to actually scare some people.
I want to make a haunted house that is actually scary. Like I said, first thing, it would have to be dead quiet. You'd have to be separating people off, no groups. Like actually scare somebody. Like it's tough.
You'd have to charge a lot for it too, because it'd have to be like a very individualized, or like it could be like a group of people, but just that group of people going through at a time. So like you
Mhm.
couldn't have multiple groups going through at a time, because that ruins some of the like surprise and that sort of element of it.
I mean, you could charge it. People like paying a premium for things like that. They'd be like, if you do your background, we'll tailor it to you, each person going through. And
No, but like I'm just mean you just do a generally really scary haunted house, but like you have however long. If it takes 30 minutes to get through the haunted house, every 30 minutes a group gets to enter. That's it.
It'd
Like
be really cool, like, if you could engineer it to like actually separate people off. Like, there'd have to be a lot of like rules and stuff in place. Like, all right, if a door closes, don't try to block it. But
oh
it'd
no,
be like,
see, yeah, because like you're gonna sign a waiver, that door's gonna close whether you're in the way of it or not. So
well, then you run into safety hazards.
no,
They
you
wouldn't
signed a
allow that.
waiver.
Yeah, but see,
I
but
mean,
we were watching.
it'd have to be extremely detailed, airtight waiver. But like, I would just like if you had like nothing automatic, it would all be like there'd be cameras, and so you'd have like a controller watching it. If there's like a big enough gap between this group, like, all right, I'm about to close this wall, and the wall closes once, and then
or the
like now
floor
you're
drops
six
out
group.
from underneath them.
Like
I mean, yeah, maybe that.
we were
Uh,
watching these tours that they did of haunted houses in the day, like outside of their operating hours, and so they actually like walk through and they can light stuff up and look at it, and like they do a good job with the sets and stuff. But you hear the pneumatic stuff, like you hear the air being released from the animatronics, or you just hear things that take you out of it, and I feel like it's so overwhelming that that doesn't, like, yeah, some people get like jumpy from that, but they're not afraid. They're like, this is safe. It seems safe. It's, you can hear other people, you can hear all the machines, you can hear all the stuff going on, and it's just overwhelming. But if it's a dead quiet experience and you're not sure exactly what's going on, I feel like that'd be a better way to go.
well,
Yeah,
when
separating the
you
groups would be good. Like if you brought like a group of 4 people in there and all of a sudden one of them's just fucking gone and you didn't even realize they were gone, like that'd be the best part.
You could do that in a crowd. You just have like those rooms where there's like a lot of crap hanging around and they can't see very well. It'd be easy to move people off.
Also, I'm saying where the floor, you just have like a slide below it, like just floor jumps
I'll
out and you hit a slide and they're just gone, and then the fucking floor is back up before you even realize what happened. That person's just gone, and that person just shit themselves because they just fell through the floor. Like,
I've also liked the ones where they have the good optical illusions, like the spinning tube, where you see the walkway where the tube runs around it and it throws
Mhm.
off your equilibrium. Like that kind of stuff I always thought was cool. So I feel like there's a better way to do it, but what that one dude does, that's a different thing. I wouldn't count that as a haunted house.
Yeah, that's basically what I told her.
But on the bright side, I was reading this article how Universal, because they've had a lot of like a big surge in people being into the Halloween type of culture, they are opening a permanent year-round attraction in Las Vegas that's going to be Halloween themed because they own the rights to all the movie monsters like Dracula and the Mummy and stuff. So we saw some of that stuff when we were down in Orlando, but they are going to be opening a permanent thing that operates year round in Vegas, and I'm excited for that.
That sounds kind of cool.
So we're gonna have to plan a trip to Vegas.
I mean, Holly's not gonna.
But it's
Not too
Vegas. There's
much.
we can have groups. We'll be like, all right, the groups that want to go see the. I don't know if it'll be a haunted house because like I said they own.
Yeah.
Like they have like the museums. They put all their props up and they like show things off. I don't know exactly what it's gonna be yet, but I feel like it'd be fun. We talked about that when we went to all these places. Like it'd be cool to get a group to go to like New Orleans or Vegas, or even the Halloween Horror Nights was cool. But I don't feel like even if you don't like haunted houses, I feel like it's still fun to go because like they have the shows. There's a lot of food and different things to see.
I mean, honestly, we do our 4th of July and our New Year's get together. We just change one of those into a destination.
It doesn't require a little planning, but
I mean, yeah, it would require more planning, but like if you thought about it now, like we could, I've always wanted to go skiing and snowboarding up there. So if we like made a change of like, all right, next year, we do that for New Year's instead of Alabama, or like.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I really don't want to be in Vegas in July either.
all right, so we're switching it.
That sounds awful too. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, just like, yeah. We wouldn't do 2 in 1 year. You'd have to like pick one of them. All right, so like, this year for 4th of July, we're going to New Orleans or something like that. Then the next year for New Year's, we'll do skiing. Figure something out.
Skiing be fun. I've never been.
Same.
Surprisingly, living in Colorado, I've never really had an interest in it. But
I did it the one time in Nebraska in March where it was like fake snow that was also melted, and it was a terrible experience.
In Nebraska,
they have a little hill.
They have just the one hill, and we walk you to the top, and then you could slide 10 feet back down.
He's actually just a sled. Like,
dude, honestly, that was the worst fucking experience because like the whole time, like the snow was too melted for you to actually like go down. And so like the most like exhilarating part was getting off the lift and like down the like the really steep part to get to like the waiting area. But then once you actually got on like the mountain in quotations for since only we could see each other and our listeners can't see us, finger quotations mountain, like I just like scooched the entire way down. I got a hell of a fucking quad workout, but
ambitious, and props to whoever's willing to create a skiing venue in Nebraska. But
yeah, it can work because it does snow a lot there. Just we went in like late March.
Yeah, I feel like once it's a heavy snow, that's the only way they're gonna have any mountains in Nebraska. The whole thing's snow, top to bottom.
I have a way to do the fake snow too.
You ever seen the land borders? Mm-mm. I don't know. That one looked dangerous. I remember seeing that a lot more in the 90s, where it was like a big kind of skateboard looking thing with big old off-road.
Oh, with the giant wheels, yeah.
That seems very dangerous though, because you hit one rock and you're dead.
The other one that looks really fun is the like the base jumping that they do through the mountains where they're like fucking hauling ass, but I'm like, dude, I would never be able to do that.
I'd love to do one of those squirrel suits.
That's what I'm saying. Like one of those things. Yeah. They're just like, I've seen so many videos of those guys do that, and they're just like whack right into the fucking ground and just dead.
I just don't
not even into the ground. Like they try to go through like some like small hole in the mountain and just fucking hit the side of it.
Well, at least it's a quick death.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than spelunking.
I'd rather do it the other way. Like at least I know if this has been thought out a little bit that there's a chance I survive. Like you end up in the stupid situation you put yourself in when you go spelunking. Like the dude that crawled into a crevice, like that happened. But like one screw up while you're flying down a mountain in a suit and splat. I don't know. I'll take the cave.
Nope, I'll take the flying.
I'm a little bit too big to be fucking around on either of those things. So.
I just pass on both.
Just stay on the ground, dude. That last flight I was on, coming back from Arizona, that was the sketchiest shit ever.
Jake got upset.
That dude,
because
no. So you know how they take off
for him.
They take off, right? Right after they take off, they always like hook to whatever direction they're going. Right? They always like turn real quick. This dude was not high enough in the air, and he was not going fast enough to do it. And the plane started falling out of the sky because it just fucking sunk. Like, and of course, it's on my side. You're looking out the window at the ground, and the plane's all. It just starts to fall, and you're like, "Wow, that's really cool." And then and then the thing that made it worse is he like real quick whipped it back flat, and I think that freaked everybody out because then you're like, "Oh, he knows he fucked up now." Like it wasn't like a smooth he just whipped that bitch back straight. And we're on this plane from like the fucking 80s. It's got to be the oldest Southwest plane in the fleet, dude.
The
the paint was chipping on the outside when we got in. Like you could see there's like paint chipped off. I'm like, this is sketch. There was like bins that were taped shut because they didn't work. Like, I don't know about
I
that.
fly Delta. Maybe more.
Shout out to Southwest for trying to provide some excitement
Dude,
on my boring ass flight.
I've been on a lot of flights, and that is the only time I've ever been uneasy about being on.
I'm not looking for excitement in my airplane situation.
Nah, dude, turbulence doesn't bother me. Like that plane could shake as hard as it fucking wants, but when it actually starts falling out of the sky, that's a little different story.
Also, earlier this year we had turbulence in our plane. That was the worst turbulence ever. Where we actually like went weightless for probably like 2 seconds. It was really fucking cool.
that doesn't bother me. Like the turbulence, as long as the plane, when the plane's flat and it's shaking, it's a different story. When the plane's like this and it's like it's on its side and you're like looking at the ground and the ground starts getting closer, that's no, not.
This is why you just be that guy and you're like, oh, we're all gonna die.
No, and so like
I was screaming bloody murder.
The guy I was with on the plane, the one I work with, Tyler, and we both kind of just look at each other and was like, well, I guess it is what it is. Like, you know, we're just gonna start calling people that we hate and talking shit. Like it's like what the one comedian talks about.
Remember the time in 5th grade where you stole my lunch money? Fuck you, bro.
Have you not seen the meme of that? Like they do like a TikTok skit of it or whatever. He's like, they announced that the plane's gonna crash, and he calls the mechanic shop that has his car, and he's like, "You guys fucking suck! Like you fucking suck at your job." It's like the old lady looks at him like, "Why are you calling them?" He's like, "What am I gonna call my wife? Listen to her bitch? Like no way."
That's right. That would actually be the worst. Like I get it. Like last thing you want to hear is like your significant other's voice, but it's like, hey, listen to me die real quick.
Yeah, I wouldn't. No way, dude. I'm just dying.
That'd be awful.
I might call somebody and tell them to go fuck themselves. I think that'd be hilarious. But I'm not gonna fucking no. I
just fucking haunt them. Like, I'm about to fucking die, bitch. Right?
And you're the one I wanted to call. I hate you that much. You're the one I called. Nobody else.
The rest of your fucking life.
I would just hope that I had enough foresight to leave on a joke. Like I might be a little late for dinner or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure. Like the last joke.
Hey, don't worry about coming to pick me up from the airport.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't worry about it. We're probably not going to be there on time.
Oh, why'd your flight get canceled? Kinda.
I just call and say, wait for me. Don't leave until I get there.
Hey, just so y'all know, my flight's about to be grounded, so...
Oh, it says you took off already. We're all gonna die. Yeah, no, it's over, so cool. Deuces.
I think it's going to be my last plane ride, you guys. I don't think I want to do this anymore.
Planes are very safe.
Listen,
don't worry about it.
I'm not going to say, though, if you survived a plane crash, how fucking hard would it be to ever get back on a plane again? Or would it be easier?
This shit can't take me down.
Would it be easier? You're like, I survived one of these before. It's not even a big thing.
It's not even a big deal.
This is why one of my favorite things. My favorite things to do, because I watch a lot of these documentaries and they talk about all these plane things. So I would trust a plane's engineering because a lot goes into it for the most part.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of the crash tests they do. They would take them and drop them in the desert and just to see what happens. So in like a straight crash, pretty much the only way if a plane can kind of have a decent landing, like if it's a flat one, obviously if you slam into something, everyone's dead. But if it just kind of crashes, there's a breakaway point usually in front of the wings, and the front end falls off and goes underneath and is obliterated. But the people in the back have the higher chance of surviving.
This is what I said. I was in the last seat, dude. Very back of the plane. I was good. We're good.
That's what I do. Anytime I walk on the plane, I like to tell that story when I'm walking past the first class and dudes up front. I'm like, yeah, you gotta be in the back, otherwise the front's gonna fall off and everyone dies.
My problem is the plane wasn't falling like this. The plane was fucking sideways, all right? Like, we're fucked.
Hey, you over on the right, you want to change seats real quick? Just a chance, you know. My number goes from .nothing to .1.
Whenever the first time I went skydiving, I went with our friend Logan and like one of the guys he worked with, and the whole time while we're waiting, and like there's other groups like ahead of us like waiting to go to the plane, they're like watching videos of like skydiving gone wrong, and I'm sitting there reading like top 10 tricks if your parachute doesn't work. And and I swear, like we probably got 2 people to chicken out because of that.
You just gotta.
That'd be
own it.
my whole goal. Be like, this guy's first time. Don't do it. It sucks. It's scary as fuck. It's the worst thing you'll ever experience.
I just tell them, well, I hit the ground the first time. The trick is to spread out. Spread out. And,
so when you hit the ground, and they're like, "What do you mean when you hit the ground?" Oh, you're gonna hit the ground. Like it's gonna happen.
Try and bounce.
All right, you guys. I think that's where we're gonna go ahead and end this on happy thoughts of parachutes not opening up.
Hey, don't worry. I gotta get on a plane tomorrow. It's cool.
This has been your least favorite podcast. Shoot us a comment on what you would like me to rank next. Make a tier list of next, and we'll make it happen. So, been your least favorite podcast. Good night, and sleep tight.